Today on the program, state creation takes center stage as the agitation for the creation of Anioma State gains momentum. Plus, a look at the goings-on in the Labour Party. This is Standpoint. I am Theophilus Ilama. A historic shift in Nigeria's constitutional landscape may be underway as over 80 senators in the 10th National Assembly reportedly backed the creation of Anioma State, a proposed sixth state for the southeast geopolitical zone, anchored by Senator Ned Nwoko. Senate Bill 481 has received cross-party, cross-regional support, signaling a strong national consensus for equity, justice, and federal balance. Leading voices include Deputy Senate President Barao Jibrin, Senate Leader Bamidele, and other influential lawmakers have publicly endorsed the bill. As the nation debates constitutional amendments, other leaders from Cross River to Bayelsa are pushing for fiscal federalism, local government autonomy, and state police. From the Senate floor to public hearings across the zones, the cry for restructuring is loud and clear, a united call to build a fairer and more inclusive Nigeria. Media Director for Anioma State Creation, Chief Barrister Tonnie Oganah, joins us for more on this. Thank you very much for joining us at this point.
My pleasure.
Okay, so this is an age-long agitation which dates back to the era of Dennis Osadebe. But why the push for Anioma State?
Now, before I answer that question, I was listening to your intro, and I just need to update you. The senators supporting Anioma State creation have since risen from 85 to 91.
Okay.
Led not just only by the Deputy Senate President, but by Akpabio himself, the Senate President. So okay. There are 109 senators in Nigeria. 91 of them have already ticked good to Anioma.
Okay.
Now back to the question. Why the agitation for Anioma State? That's your question.
Yes.
Now, first off, Anioma State creation is the longest standing request in Nigeria. It started from 1951. It was led initially by three traditional rulers. The Obi of Agbo, the Obi of Idumujuboko, and the Obi of Abo.
Okay.
In those days, traditional rulers were not so actively involved in politics. So they took the request to Chief Sir Barrister Dennis of Sadebe, who was the leading political firmament of the, at the time known as Delta, not even Delta, Midwest Igbos. So, truth be told, the three royal fathers started the quest for Anioma because they wanted an identity for our people. Our people had suffered a lot of degradation. And when I say our people, what do I mean? I mean members and people of the 9 local governments, of the 25 local governments in present-day Delta State. For purposes of clarity, I will name them and I will mention their local government headquarters.
All right.
I'll start with mine. The smallest, but if you ask me, the mightiest, Anocha North. The headquarters is in Iseluku. Anocha South. The headquarters is in Ogwashiku. Oshimili North. The headquarters is in Akugibo. Oshimili South, the headquarters is in Asaba, which also doubles as the state capital. Ika South, the headquarters is in Abo. Ika Northeast, the headquarters is in Owoyibo. Now I move to Ndokwa Ukwani axis. For Ukwani local government, the headquarters is in Obiaroko. For Ndokwa West, the headquarters is in Kwale. For Ndokwa East, the headquarters is in Abo. These are the 9 local governments out of the 25 local government areas in Delta State that have signed on for Anioma State from the beginning of time, more or less from 71 years ago. I'm just 61. I don't think you're anywhere near my age. But the request for the state started 10 years before I was born. And these are the people who are agitating for it. However, the people of Ibanke in Edo State want to join in. I'm even told my brothers in Onitsha want to join in. Somebody whispered to me that the Uguta people also want to join in. But for now, they are not part of this agitation. The thing is to get the state first. Because of cultural identity, we want to be with our kid and king, and we are Igbos. From our language to the names we bear, Emeka, Chukwuwike, Adeze, Adafo, Okolie, Ifeanyi, Igwe. We are Igbos. Let's stop the pretense. Let's stop trying to hide behind the finger. Kole walk, like Yoruba say. Anything Anioma is Igbo. Indeed, the word Anioma, coined by Ustaz Sadebe, God bless his soul, my leader, who started the struggle. Anioma means good land, the good land. Create the state, Nigeria will become a good land, flowing with milk and honey. And we all have Asiwaju and APC to thank. Because before now, PDP was in power in Nigeria. PDP didn't create Anioma State. Now, APC is poised to create Anioma State. And at the appropriate time, my people, who are very grateful, who are educated but have been undermined, will show our gratitude by supporting APC. So back to your question, I just did a detour.
Yeah.
Back to your question. Anioma is about being the 6th Igbo state based on equity, justice, and natural conscience. It's about placating the Igbos who have always had the shortest end of the stick. I'll explain that. Before the British came to attack us in 1881, the Anioma nation, there was nothing like Anioma then. You just had Igbos in the core southeast and in the south where I am now. The colonialists came with what we call the Ekumeku War. It took them 31 years to defeat my people. 31 years. What were my people using? Bows and arrows. The British were using their Dane gun, cock and shoot. There was no AK-47 then. But it took them 31 years. Because of what we put the British through, they punished us. How? I'll tell you. They bifurcated the Delta-speaking Igbo people, the Midwest people, Igbo-speaking people, into 2 divisions. Then we didn't have local government, we had divisions. So when Benin division, the Kwani people were in Delta division. So much later, when the military rule came, they joined the 2 together to make Bendel. That's how come you have the word Bendel. So our punishment didn't start from 1914, the amalgamation, of Nigeria, no. It started from way back 1881. And as I speak to you today, the southeast where the Igbos majorly are, our kith and kin, our brothers, have only 5 states in that zone. The other zones that have 7. Now let me bring it home. To share money in Nigeria is not by zones. It's by local governments and states. So all the Igbos in the southeast have only 95 local governments out of the 774 local governments that make up Nigeria. The northwest has 186. Viewers, please cross-check me. Nigeria has only 774 local governments and 36 states as I speak.
Okay, talking about local government now.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you back to where you mentioned Delta North.
Delta North also means Anioma, the 9 local government.
Yes, 9 local government. But I read somewhere, and I'm still going to read it out to you.
By all means.
Now, it says here, in the Vanguard newspaper, the chairman of the 9 local government areas in Delta North have distanced themselves from a document purportedly endorsing the creation of Anioma State, alleging that their signatures and official stamps were forged.
Now, I'm about the best person to ask that question because I'm also a lawyer. So what they are alleging, if that to be believed, is that their signatures were forged.
Yes.
Were forged. My brother, if you are
also distancing themselves from the agitation for the creation of the
I will
state.
tackle all that in less than 5 minutes. Everybody knows in Nigeria that if somebody forges a signature, allegedly, that's a criminal matter. Where do you go to for criminal matters? You go to the police. You don't go to TVC or channels or Arise. You go to the police. If somebody forges a document in my name and I'm pained by it to make it public, I'll go to the police and lodge a report. So I challenge those 9 local government chairmen who say that they are Anioma people to go to the police and lodge a report of forgery if they are serious. But if you ask them further, they'll tell you, well, that being the case, we support Anioma, but we are not the one who signed that. What's the meaning of that? How can you appropriate and reprobate in the same transaction? If you are saying that's not your document, it means that you don't agree with Anioma State. Whereas, it's Anioma votes that put you where you are.
The creation of this Anioma State, is it about a political agenda?
It is not. I told you when it started. This agitation started since 1951.
Yes, but now, is it about the political agenda? Because there are insinuations that some people cannot be governor of the present states that they represent, and so they want to be governors or political leaders of Anioma State if created.
Now that is the farthest thing I've ever heard from the truth, and I'll prove it. Delta State was created in 1991. True. The first governor was, God bless his soul, Ibro, Felix Ibro, Urobo, not Anioma. Then the coup came. They came back second time. The governor the second time was also from Urobo, James Ibori, Onanife, Odidigbo. By the way, he just celebrated his birthday, and I joined my senator in wishing Odidigbo many happy returns. And Delta needs him now. Anioma needs him now. Nigeria needs him now. And in a minute, I'll tell you what that means. After James Ibori, from Urobo, like Felix Ibro, Dr. Emmanuel Uduaha took over. Then Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, aka Kwame, took over from Anioma. So how can you say the reason why we want Anioma is because without Anioma State, an Anioma person cannot be governor? Not true. The immediate past governor of Delta State is from Anioma. So what's the argument?
Okay, so why this agitation has long, like you have mentioned, has long been coming? What is the real reason for this creation?
One, like I was saying, we want to join. We are Igbos. We are not making any pretense about it. My Igbo name is Osita Tadema. Osita Tadema is an Igbo word that means from today it shall be well.
Okay.
It's only in Igbo land that you find the 4 market days: Afo, Akwo, Nkwo, Eke, and Olie. You don't find it in the John land. You don't find it in Yoruba land. This Red Cap and Wen is known to be won largely by the Igbos.
So this will ensure a creation of an identity.
Yes, identity, one. And two, we've always had the short end of the stick. Before you ask me a question, I was trying to tell you how the Igbo nation has been shortchanged with having the least number of states and local governments. It is the number of local governments and number of states that determines how much you share from FARC in Abuja every month. I just told you the Northwest has 186 local governments. My Southeast brothers have only 95. So if you give us Anioma State and we go there, they are welcoming us. They are not saying they don't want it. Indeed, 12 out of the 15 senators from the Southeast have already endorsed Anioma State, led by their chairman, His Excellency Uzokalo. They are not driving us away.
Okay.
So the Urobos are happy to see us go. The Jaws can't even thank God enough. Oh, this one won't go, make them go. The Shekiri people also want us to go. The Soko people want us to go. It is only a few misled and disgruntled Anioma people that don't want the state created. And
why do you think so?
Fine, and that's the question. There are in 3 categories. One, pure, plain ignorance. They think that if we go to the Southeast, we will cease to be members of the NDDC, Niger Delta Development Commission. But that's not true. Abia State, Igbo, Imo State, Igbo are members of NDDC, so we lose nothing. So there are people who are just ignorant. And you know, all over the world now, times are challenging. Not everybody can afford to buy newspapers every day to read or to subscribe or even to pay for their bills and listen to news. So it's what they say, kale, if you wasi, baba so go and read the newspapers and educate yourself. Make Google your friend. That's one, ignorant people. And majority of people opposing it are there. Second category of people opposing Anioma State are people who are enjoying from the status quo. I just told you that Anioma once produced governor of Delta State. He has his own people. They are scared that if Anioma comes, they will lose their privilege on the table. Access to power, access to money. Delta State is very rich. He has oil, he has gas, and he has a lot of entrepreneurs. He has human resources, one of the best in Nigeria, particularly from the Anioma region. So they are scared. These people don't come. They want to go back from us, so we don't want to. Forgetting that their brothers and sisters cannot get jobs. Because everything in Nigeria is based on quota. If you have the fewer number of local governments and fewer number of states, naturally, less largesse will be flowing to your people. So but hold on. The third category. The third category of people are, in my opinion, people who are just greedy. Let me explain what I mean. Delta State gets an average of 122 billion naira every month since Aswaju came in. They're not going below that. In fact, in June, the one for July has not come out. The one in June, Delta State got 128 billion. That is enough to cater for the 7.8 million Deltans. To cater for our needs. Food, water, light, shelter. But it will never be enough to cater for the greed of a few. Because those greedy people have endless needs, endless wants, things they don't need, they keep acquiring. So what I'm simply saying is, we don't need to fight or quarrel. Accommodate everybody, accommodate all the interest. The governor just left Delta PDP for APC. Constitution guarantees freedom of movement and political thought, nothing wrong with that. But there's no way on earth you move with all your PDP people and you want to push the landlords of the party away, the people who were in APC before you away. It's not going to work. Particularly when the 3 senators are APC.
Okay. Talking about allocation of resources at the federal level to different states, which you have mentioned earlier, we know that despite allocations given to states, we don't see development is not at par with what they have received. How will this, the creation of Anioma State, aid development at the local levels for Anioma people?
Okay. Permit me now, I think better in Igbo and Yoruba. You know, I'm not an Englishman. You have to
interpret that.
I'll interpret it right away. A hungry man is known from the way he washes his hands before he starts eating. You know, if I don't believe food and you bring food now, I say, Tony, oh yeah, make a chop. I say, okay, I'll be don't chop. Make a join. If I don't chop now, you talk to I'll not be your friend. So I will reluctantly waste time and all that. But if I'm hungry, before I even drop the food,
no, a cultured man will not wash.
No, if you're hungry, you will never culture.
Despite being hungry.
Don't let me lose the trend of my thoughts.
Okay.
From the antecedents of all our rulers, we know the ones that will do well. I'll give you an example. The current senator of Delta State,
Nedoko.
Yeah, of Delta North rather,
yeah.
Nedoko, has done well. He has empowered the people. Even this whole Anioma State creation, he's the one financing it. The vision of his grandfather, he's the one financing it. I told him, a lot of people told him, look, why don't we do fundraising? He said, no, that people might use that against him. So he's funding it on his own. He has done a lot of projects, even went as far as building a university. And half the students in that university don't pay a dime as tuition, don't pay for feeding, don't pay for anything. So that's how you know a man who is a man of the people. So should Anioma State be created and he chooses to contest as governor and leave the Senate, if he wins, it can be nothing but good governance for our people. That's one. Then 2, the present government and the government before now have done their best. But in my opinion, their best is not good enough. And I'll give you a practical example.
Okay.
The problem confronting Delta North today is not roads, as important as roads are. It is light and water. So the present governor, Sheriff, is faced with a situation where it costs, according to him and his handlers, 59 billion naira to build one flyover in Agbo Romi Junction, which deserves a flyover. Agbo deserves good roads. I grew up there partly, so I know Agbo. But it will cost 30 billion naira to reticulate water in Ogwashuku. It will cost only 20 billion naira to do the by step down. Now, I ask you as a journalist, Elama, you are well respected. Your program is well respected and well watched. Which is more important? Road, flyover, 59 billion, or water, 20 billion, or light, 30 billion. I'm sure, that light and water is basically human existence.
But road contributes to human existence.
I agree, but you must drink water to stay alive.
But you need the roads to transport yourself from one level to another.
Yes, how many people have, I said flyover, it's not even just the road, flyover. How many people have cars? But everybody must drink water. If not, you dehydrate. When you dehydrate, what happens? You die. Everybody must have light. Cottage industries must work. Students must have light to have access to the internet to do have their proper lectures and their assignments. So in my opinion, and I dare say, in the opinion of any right-thinking person, light and water should come before flyover and roads. But what do you have? The money is there, they prefer to go and do flyover. Forgetting that, yes, there's money in flyovers, you negotiate with contractors, we know this Nigeria, we know what we mean. But you can also make more money from light and water. My senator Ned even offered, okay, let me bring some people from abroad to come and finance it. And over time, recoup their money. The state government said no. Why would that happen? So we wish the governor well, but what we are simply saying is that PDP cannot take over everything. Like Senator Ned Nwoko said, our indefatigable senator.
All right.
That's yours. Wait, hold on, let me give you this quotation. When the former chairman of APC came to Delta, Senator Ned released a statement that they are welcome and anybody can indeed go anywhere. But they should not come thinking that they can fill up new bottles with old wine. Meaning, don't come with the PDP mentality of Ifencha, Bugwe, Awalamako, You share. The governor is the governor. He will take the lion's share. We are not disputing that. But he cannot take everything. He has to concede at least 10% to the 3 senators. He has to concede something to Omagege. Indeed, he has to concede something to Odidigbo, James Tibor if he wants peace.
Okay, so let's talk about the geographical balance now.
Yes.
Many people believe that the creation of Anioma State will alter that.
See, in other words, you're a very smart person. You're asking me about zoning. See, Nigeria has 6 zones. 3 in the south, 3 in the north. I've already proved with empirical evidence that the south is disadvantaged because the southeast has only 5 states, whereas others have 6 and 7. If you create Anioma and move us there, you're going to have a more balanced tradition. The Igbo man is going to walk prouder. He will not feel like he's not wanted.
How are you moving? How are you walking at this time as an Igbo man?
How am I doing what?
How are you moving at this time? How are you walking at this time without the creation of Anioma State at this time? How are you walking as an Igbo man?
Because God has given the Igbo man, the Igbo blood, indefatigability. Nothing, the Igbo man never says die. Remember that immediately after the war, we were giving only 20 pounds. But today, what do you have? Do you know the state that has the highest number of billionaires in Nigeria? Let me tell you. Anambra State.
Allegedly, though.
No, facts and figures.
Okay.
See, and they're not even in government. The average Igbo man doesn't want to go to government. He just wants peace and security to do his business. Go to Anambra, go to the villages, go and see what's happening. Recently, Nigerian Customs just declared 6.1 trillion. They overshot their expected revenue. Why? My brothers are bringing in containers. They are selling. They are traders. They are commercial people. They are not government workers. They are not bureaucrats. So all we are simply saying is, give the Igbo man a leg to stand on. Treat us like you have treated other people.
Let's assume this creation of Anioma State moves further.
It will in Jesus' mighty name.
We hope so. But what assurance?
You say amen. Say amen to that.
Let me ask my question.
Say amen before you say.
Let me ask my question.
Please say amen.
I'm not from Anioma.
So you don't want us to have a state.
Listen, what assurances?
You don't want Okonjo-Iweala to have a state. You don't want Nduka to have a state.
Assurances?
You don't want Tonnie and Jimovia to have their state.
Well,
you don't want JJ Okocha to have his state.
If you have their state, it's.
You don't want Don Jazzy to have his state. You want to wake up on Saturday that is dead. You don't want Ashedu to have his state.
I am from the Niger Delta, so we are good at this point. But as it is now, what assurances do we have that the creation of this shift will serve the best purpose of its citizens?
Why do you think, for example, that the average American wants to die for America? Because if you treat even one American badly, whoever is present would ensure the rescue of that person. In Nigeria, the situation is not the same because we believe some Nigerians feel they are more entitled than the others. And whether you like it or not, the Igbo man has been kept down deliberately. And Anioma will help that. Don't forget that the Southeast has 6 requests also for state. That's a request for Aba State, for Anim State, for Adada, for Ititi State, for Olu State, for Rashi. But despite that, they have now reached a consensus. Like I told you before, there are 15 Igbo senators in Nigeria. 12 of them have said, give it to Anioma in consultation with their people. And it is APC that's making all this happen. You can see everybody now coming to APC. Shortly before the end of the year, APC will have 24 governors. That's enough to create Anioma State. Because the Asiwaju I know is a man of equity. They will be invited to Abuja with their speakers, and they'll be told that Tiwa, the Igbo man have no quarrel with the Yoruba man, have no quarrel really with the Hausa man. It's equity. It's because the woman feels shortchanged that he appears to be extra aggressive and all that. But if you give him Anioma State, he has more stakes at the table. 3 days ago, I was reading in the paper that ships now betting on each other. But they only bet during the peak of the rainy season. Yeah. If you create Anioma, the next town to Asaba, the capital of Anioma, is Onitsha. Anambra will bring money, Delta will bring money, we'll dredge the place. Okay,
so quickly I want to ask about all of this materials you have kept here. What's about? We have just about one minute to end this segment.
The rumor now is that they know that the state is coming, so they are trying to run down my senator by saying that Senator Nenoko is leaving APC. It's not true. I'm in charge of media and publicity. Now, just to show that I'm not the foreigner, can you read what is here and show the logo so your viewers can see?
Anioma supports a renewed hope agenda.
Anioma supports Asiwaju and NED and APC. That's the logo here. If your cameraman can zoom in on this,
they are seeing it already.
Let Nigerians see this. This black is in many colors. I just brought a few. This is blue, the same thing. These are t-shirts. Why we have not released them to Anioma people to start wearing in support of Asiwaju and in support of NED is because INEC has not lifted the ban on elections.
All right.
But as soon as INEC lifts the ban on elections, you will see over 2 million Anioma people wearing this in support of Asiwaju and Nedmoko, our senator.
We have to go now. Thank you so much for talking.
My pleasure. Anioma any day.
I enjoyed this conversation. I wish I did more too. Time, but thank you so much for.
I did too. Prayer.
Thank you very much.
For NED, for APC, and for Asiwaju.
Thank you.